What is going on, everyone? And this is gonna be a very short video of a transaction which someone actually offered to me, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna call him a scammer. I'm not gonna call him a scammer though. I'm gonna say a potential one. So it is up to you guys to actually judge it. So this dude actually came to me and he offered me a Hellcat for $800. I was like, 800,000 K. I was like, what the fuck? Of course, definitely that's not the price for a Hellcat right now. Yes, it was when it first came out in the crate, but now no longer. So there are still high people are actually trying to get as much money as they can. This also involves of every single cars. So they will try and come, and now I basically know what's the price of it. So you guys gonna read this. He offered me about these two GTRs, 1.5 million. And I was like, no way, I'm not going to do that. So you guys read this. I give you guys to actually run through it. So yeah, I did inform him on my part here. So basically, if there's a transaction that you want to do, of course you got to bound with my rules. So I'm going to go to a part where I'm going to stop and I'm going to explain how the transaction works. So I did offer him 500K for both, and he said no thanks, you only want to offer me. Fine. And I did ask him, how much do you have? The reason I asked, because each transaction, depending on how much you have, if you have a little money and I got to pay you about 300K or maybe 500K, I have to do we have to run basically a couple of races, challenge, and then you will get the money that you wanted, so that it reaches to the amount that you offered. So he basically have 26,000. So of course, if 26,000, I'm gonna pay you about 300K. I basically gonna have, first bet is gonna be 25K, which I'm gonna fall. Then you have the 25K. Then basically plus with the amount that you have, you'll be having 50K then. And another race will be bet 50K, and so on and so forth, 100K until we reaches 300K. That's it. So basically, I'm not sure whether he understand what I'm trying to say, and all of a sudden you say, what do you mean? So I say, I'm gonna pay 300K. So we're gonna do this transaction, do the transaction till you have 300K but car first. And suddenly you said, oh, no deal then. It's like, what the fuck? Earlier you said okay, and now you say no, right? So but he was in lobby, I was in lobby with my Datsun, and suddenly he said, but you started saying stuff about this transaction. So this is a deal. When you're trying to do a transaction with a legit guy, you basically got to make sure that legit person explain to you everything. So I'm the kind of guy. I explain to you how the transaction works so that you understand. Alright? And because I did face one guy that actually have 1K, and he was thinking by me actually giving him 3,000K in one time. But he was not aware that basically you have to do a couple of transactions to actually reach us to that 300K of bet. Right? So I did explain to him, so we need to raise and raise till 300K is given to you. I can only bet you 25K for the first time since you have 25K, and then 50K, then 100K until 300K, which means 4 times of races, then you will get your 300K. So he was telling 1 minute isn't long. So I say, yeah, unless you have 500K right now, then it's a one time off transaction, which means if you have 300K, I only bet. If you have 500K, I only bet 300K, which means it's just a one-time off transaction. And when I say long, means I'm referring to the number of races, not the time, right? So he was, what about talking about we are not going to race? And I said, how do you think you will get money? You need to challenge me, right? So when I say race, means you have to challenge me. I'll bet you, whether it's pinks or whatsoever, that's how you will get money. So he said, he raised pinks, then our chicken. Yeah, we can do that as well. So I put the amount and I fall, isn't it? If we go for that way. Why I say fall? Because normally I will use a car which I do not have engine stress, which means it's basically a stock car, right? So I will not go up to that. I don't know, I just prefer to actually do it in that kind of term way rather than just pinks in other way, right? So I did come across people that actually put up a pinks where I accidentally accept it. I actually accept the pinks, and instead what am I talking, so instead what happened is that the person took advantage of the pinks and actually took my car away, right? And yeah, that's it. So I was like, okay, fine, that's avoid engine stress. I don't mind doing that pings kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, whatsoever, and she can read. So I'm asking him again, so is it up or no? And he said no. So like I said, he's not a scammer but potential. Alright, so nice try. And he said, I'm not scammer, I told you to join and I did, right? But you lectured me about this transaction. I don't see anything about lecturing, but I'm being very legit and explaining to him how the transaction gonna work. Because again, he has 25k and I'm having millions and he wants 300k from me. Of course, I got to do a couple of transactions. So I say, you know what, you're being recorded right now. Let's see what the viewer says. Alright. So he said, I watched your video, man. Okay, bro, make me famous. I said, and you will be watching yourself in YouTube shortly as well. And he did challenge me. He want to see if I'm daring enough to actually put up the video in YouTube. So I'm gonna do that definitely. And he's asking me whether am I like this to everyone. I said, I will be like this because I want everyone to actually understand that, you know, how a transaction works. That is my kind of deal. So whoever have done a transaction with me, they will know what I'm trying to explain. I basically will tell. So he's saying don't lie. I'm basically recording every single thing right now. He says don't lie to your viewer. I said don't worry, I'm not gonna lie to anything. This basically I'm going through every single thing and let them judge. And yep, that's the end of the conversation right now. So this video, as I promised, this video is gonna be put up in YouTube. If I'm lying, you basically see me scrolling very fast, but I didn't. I'm going through very slow, and you guys basically can see what is up there. So you guys judge this, guys. Again, I'm not calling him a scammer, but potential. All right. So Andrew, if you are watching this and if you still do not understand how the transaction works, don't do deals with anyone. But if you think you understand the transaction works, then you should know what I'm talking about. All right. Until then, guys, I am Chris and peace out.